We invite Jesus to be with us for this joining in light circle. We are light, and we thank him for his guidance, whatever guidance he provides for us today. In deepest gratitude to hear his voice all throughout the day to guide us and lead us to see what's true. So these sessions are on purpose to look at the blocks of love that the infinite power of being has, to see that there are no real blocks to love, only a decision to deny that love's infinite love's always here. So with guidance from Jesus, we just look at the blocks that he brings into our awareness, or he may show us something for us to recognize in our hearts, and we're silent with it. And as we recognize that the message has been received or the block's been cleared, we indicate. So today, the guidance feels like to look at miracles and really having that deep understanding of what miracles are. We know that miracles are for a change in perception. It feels like Jesus wants to point to something very deep here, actually to transcend miracles, to see that we are the miracle. Principles of miracles. The first thing to remember about miracles is that there's no order of difficulty among them. So I just want to confirm in the mind that, to see if there are any subconscious beliefs that there's an order of difficulty of miracles, and place that. I'm willing to see that there's no difference in miracles. See that there's no difference in miracles. Miracle principle 2. Miracles do not matter. They're quite unimportant. And I put any doubts that I might have that they're unimportant. I really recognize this in the heart. They occur naturally as an expression of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. Are there any doubts in the subconscious mind that everything that comes from love is a miracle? I'm willing to see this. This explains the first point related to the lack of order. All expressions of love are maximal. Are there any doubts in the subconscious mind that all expressions of love are maximal? I'd like to see it through those. This is why the thing in itself does not matter. The only thing that matters is the source, and this is far beyond human evaluation. There are any ideas that anything else other than source matters. Any denials. I'm willing to see that another way. Question of the Holy Spirit. Would you regard this communication as a kind of miracle? There is nothing special or surprising about this at all. Jesus, I'd like to put any belief that there's anything special or surprising about direct communication with you. With God, actually, too. Let's see. This is really great. Yes, we find as these tensions, these deep tensions are released, we just yawn a lot. It's really very relaxing. As the mind opens, it's very easy, so easy and light. The one thing that happened was the universal miracle, which was the experience of intense love that you have felt. Jesus, isn't there any doubt thoughts about being in a consistent state of universal miracle? So we have to give over any doubts or see through that. In parentheses, don't get embarrassed by the idea of love. Embarrassment is only a form of fear, and actually a particularly dangerous form because it reflects egocentricity. Jesus, is there any desire to have an experience of embarrassment of the idea of loving the subconscious mind? I feel willing to see that differently. Is there any desire to have an experience, a form of fear through embarrassment? Is there any desire for an experience of their embarrassment over hearing their voice or talking about hearing their voice? I'm willing to see this thing happening. Do not feel guilty about the fact that you are doubting this. Is there any desire for experience of guilt or doubt for hearing their voice all the time? Just reread them and their truth will come to you. We're really releasing the tension. It's so wonderful. It's so easy. This is how easy this focusing on light is and really deep listening. Just read them as in the miracle principles and their truth will come to you. I love you and I am not afraid or embarrassed or doubtful. My strength will support you. So don't worry and leave the rest to me. Jesus, is there any doubt in the subconscious mind that your strength will support us? See that difference? Okay, there's some direct communication. I'm reading this in URL text, so I'm just kind of going through the direct communication with Helen or Bill. Is there anything to see here? No. Okay. All miracles mean life, and God is the giver of life. He will direct you very specifically. Jesus, is there any doubt in the subconscious mind about God directing specifically? Are there any desires to avoid or not like specific instructions? I can see that. Are there any doubt thoughts that all miracles mean life and God is the giver of life? Have any doubt thoughts or denials of that? I'd like to give those over. Plan ahead is good advice in this world where you should and must control and direct where you have accepted responsibility. But the universal plan is in more appropriate hands. You will know all you need to know. Make no attempts to plan ahead in this respect. Jesus, is there any desire to plan ahead left in the subconscious mind to deny the universal plan? I'm willing to see that differently. Miracles are habits. Miracles are habits and should be involuntary. They should not be under conscious control. Jesus, is there any desire to have miracles under conscious control? I'm willing to see this differently. Consciously selected miracles are usually misguided. And this will make the talent useless. And apparently this was really marked up in your all text. Maybe we can get a definition from Jesus on what that really means. Consciously selected miracles are usually misguided. Yeah, they're a way to deny divinity, actually. Because who's becoming involved? Ego's actually becoming involved. So there's like no access by the divine being to denial of divinity. Miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong. If there's any doubts about miracles being natural or birthright, I'm willing to see for that. He says as they are expressions of divine love, they are natural. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. I'd like to have a little clarity on that in my mind, clear out any identification. Is because the closing the door on infinite love, and because they're expressions of love, they can't be perceived. Miracles are a form of healing. They supply a lack and are performed by those who have more for those who have less. Miracles are a kind of exchange. Like all expressions of love, there's always miraculous, which are always miraculous in a true sense. The exchange reverses the physical laws. Jesus, are there any doubt thoughts about love, the power of love to reverse physical laws? And to see that, is there any desire in the subconscious mind anymore to experience physical laws or feel subject to physical laws? I'm willing to see that. An experience of making myself subject to physical law. A miracle is a reversal of the physical order because it brings more love to the giver and the receiver. A miracle is misunderstood when it's regarded as a spectacle. Jesus, is there any desire in the subconscious mind to experience miracles as spectacles? You're saying things going their way in form is not a miracle. What you think is going your way is not a miracle. The use of miracles as a spectacle to induce belief is wrong. They are usually used for and by believers. Is there any desire to use miracles for spectacle? Okay, HS has some fear about 11. Helen had fear and doubt about 9 and 10. Probably doubt induced by fear of 11. Fear of 11. Is there any fear in the subconscious mind that the use of miracles as a spectacle to induce belief? Is there any desire in the subconscious mind to experience fear? God, oh, I see. It's the ego's desire for spectacle. It loves the story. So is there any, so she says, doubt about expressions of love being miraculous, true expressions of love. I'm willing to see that differently. That's pretty clear. When you say, if you want me to, I will, please add, and if you don't want me to, I won't. This is the right use of inhibition. There has to be some control over learning for channelizing purposes. Remember, retroactive inhibition should be easy enough for you. So Jesus, I want to be totally open to both you ask me to do something and if you don't want me to tell me no. I want to feel completely open if there are any doubt thoughts to that. Retroactive inhibition, telling me that something wasn't the higher choice. I accept that totally. Sometimes the new learning is the most important and has to inhibit the old. It's a form of correction. Please someone accept that in fullness. Prayer is the meeting of miracles. Prayer is the natural communication of the created with the creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. Please I accept miracles as a natural form of the expression of divinity. Miracles are thought creations. Thought can create lower order or higher order realities. This is the basic distinction between intellectualization and thinking. One creates in the physical and the other the spiritual, and when we believe in what we create. I'm just listening right now to hear if there's anything to be. This one may be just a direct experience. Feels like a direct experience. What the miracle's expression of love I can't see, and accepting the power of thought without. It's almost like I feel like he's teaching the distinction here between manifestation and miracle mindedness, the expression of divinity and manifestation. One creates in the physical, the other the spiritual. And we believe in what we create. This feels like the starting point. It's really pointing beyond the miracles to what needs no miracles. If there's any desire to spot in any way, actually, I'd like to see through that. A miracle is a beginning and an ending. It thus abolishes time. It is always an affirmation of rebirth, which seems to go back but really goes forward. It undoes the past and the present, and thus releases the future. Miracles attest to truth. They are convincing because they arise from conviction. Without conviction, they deteriorate into magic, which is mindless and therefore destructive, or rather uncreative use of mind. He's using miracles to train creative use of mind, to point toward creation, even though there's still thought creation. Jesus, is there any desire in the subconscious mind for uncreative uses of mind? I'd like to, I'm willing to see those and get those, so that they're only an investment in higher order thoughts and expressions of divinity and love.
Can you help me with this one?
Okay. What's the question?
This last one.
Okay. What do you throw at the question?
I don't understand.
So, because the truth is an expression of love, right? Love expresses truth, expresses its love because truth is love. It's an expression of love. So miracles are an expression of love, and therefore they're attesting to the truth. They arise from conviction because the conviction is.
I just got it.
There. Okay. It's like putting a checkbox next to I'm worthy. Conviction is worthiness, is an exception of worthiness. So rather uncreative. It's almost like magic's a form of helplessness. It can be helpful, where miracles is
Convicted.
Yeah, convicted with the power of of God.
I am standing in the power that I am.
Yeah, that feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That feels happy.
It's not some other power.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's the conviction. That's beautiful. Each day should be devoted to miracles. God created time so that man could use it creatively and convince himself of his own ability to create. And that's really what's happening. We're convincing ourselves of our own ability that we already have from God. Time is a teaching device and a means to an end. It will cease when it is no longer useful for facilitating learning. Yeah, Jesus, if there are any doubts to the happy learner, I lay those on the table at your holy feet. And the creative use of time. Any denials of the creative use of time. Special instructions. Notes on this course have to be taken only under good learning conditions. The same goes for review periods. I will tell you when, but remember to ask. Miracles are teaching devices for demonstrating that it is more or less blessed to give than receive. They simultaneously increase the reserve strength of the giver and supply the lack of strength in the receiver. Be very careful in interpreting this. They're self-reinforcing. Instructions. The purpose of this course is integration. I told you that you will not be able to use it right until you have taken it. As long as your identification vacillates, you cannot accept the gift that belongs to you. You are still vacillating between recognizing the gift and throwing it away. Jesus, is there any desire in the subconscious mind to vacillate between recognizing the gift, true identity, and throwing it away? See any? I'm willing to see that differently. Bill regards himself as too weak to accept it. You do not know yet its healing power. After you have passed the course, you'll accept it and keep it and use it. This is the final exam, which you will have no trouble in passing. Midterm marks are not entered on the permanent record. Miracles are the absence of the body. They're sudden shifts into invisibility, away from lower order reality. This is why they heal. A miracle is a service. It is the maximal service that one soul can render another. It is a way of loving your neighbor as yourself. The doer recognizes his own and his neighbor's inestimable value simultaneously. Jesus, is there any resistance in the subconscious mind in extending the service of the miracle to my neighbor as myself? I'm willing to see this tomorrow. This is why no areas of hatred can be retained. If you retain them, your own value is no longer inestimable because you are evaluating it as X or infinity minus that amount. Jesus, is there any area of hatred that's being retained in the subconscious mind and desired experience? I'm willing to see that and release that. Jesus, is there any desire to experience myself as infinity minus X, minus some amount? This is meaningless mathematically, which uses the term inestimable only in the very literal sense, pun intended, especially for Bill. See what pun he's using here. Oh, mathematically can't be figured out how much hatred, what percentage. Intended as a special sign of love. So Jesus does puns, apparently. Miracles rest on the law and order of eternity, not of time. As its expressions of love, they are the timeless. That's not in here. I said it. Miracles are an industrial necessity. Industry depends on cooperation, and cooperation depends on miracles. Miracles are cobwebs of iron. They unite human frailty to the strength of God. Ad for 21. Helen Schuckman considered changing iron to steel. Correction, no, steel would not be a better word. Steel is very useful, but it would have to be tempered by fire. Iron is the raw material. The point of miracles is that they replace fire, thus making it unnecessary. Miracles are natural expressions of total forgiveness. Through miracles, man accepts God's forgiveness by extending it to others. Okay, Jesus, is there anyone or anything that's in the subconscious mind denying miracles to others that I need to see? I'm willing to see it. I'm very willing to see it. The second step is inherent in the first because light cannot tolerate darkness. Light dispels darkness automatically by definition. Through miracles, man accepts God's forgiveness by extending it to others. Miracles are extensions of light. Forgiveness is extension of light. Beautiful. Explanatory instructions. Miracles are associated with fear only because of the fallacy that darkness can hide. So Jesus, is there any association still in the subconscious mind that miracles are associated with fear? I'm going to see that. Any energetic investment in the desire to experience miracles fearfully. Man believes that what he cannot see does not exist, and his physical eyes cannot see in the dark. Is there any belief that what I cannot see does not exist? And belief that physical eyes cannot see in the dark? This is a very primitive solution and has led to a denial of the spiritual eye, which always depends on light. Remember the biblical injunction, may I never forget that thine eye is ever upon me, beholding the evil and the good. Yeah, Jesus, I want to give over any remaining remnants of keeping something hidden. Like, I want full access. He says, yes. That's all that's required. Full access. There are two stages, one lower and one higher, which are involved in the escape from darkness. The recognition that darkness cannot hide. This usually does entail fear. The recognition that there is nothing you want to hide, even if you could. This brings escape from fear. corrections to point 21, cobwebs of iron. This is upside down as stated. The part about uniting human frailty with the strength of God is all right, but the explanation stops too soon. If iron is the raw material, cobwebs can't become the iron. That is only the way it seems, because cobwebs are associated with frailty and iron with strength. If you look carefully at the phrasing, you'll see it's reversed. One point already tells you that miracles reverse the physical or lower order laws. The raw material, or iron, is heavy but crude and stands for the body, which is a crude creation. The cobweb concept is closer to how the body should be regarded. Jesus, are there any doubt thoughts about considering the body very like cobwebs, light, as an airy and temporary home, which can be just blown away with a slight breeze? The point should read,
Oh, that's okay.
no, I'll just let it fully, feels really good to have full release. The point should read, a miracle reawakens the awareness that the spirit and not the body is the altar of truth. To see that the spirit and not the body is the altar of truth. This is the recognition that leads to the healing power of the miracle. A miracle rearranges the order of perception and places the levels in their true perspective. This heals at all levels, because all sickness comes confusing the levels. So I feel that we've gone for 40 minutes, and it feels good to pause here, and perhaps we could just continue with the other miracles. That feels complete, doesn't it? It feels really good. So we're at T1B22I in your text. So thank you, beloveds. I'll just open it if there's anything to be expressed.
Yeah. Something is happening, but I can't express it.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just rest in silence. And I'm seeing really the beauty of going through each of these in this light together, and then really hearing Jesus do it's like it's beyond the mind in terms of the understanding. And just, yeah, it's just resting in the heart now. So extend love to everyone, and thank you.